the complete guide to hand washing your favorite clothes. Your clothes deserve better care. Hey there, I'm Marcus, and this is Senior's Cleaning Hacks. If you've ever opened your closet only to find that sweater you loved is now stretched out or that silk blouse has faded, you're going to want to stick around for this one. We're talking about the one mistake most people make that completely ruins expensive clothing. So if you want to learn how to keep your favorite pieces looking brand new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's dive in. The real problem nobody talks about. Most of us throw everything into the washing machine without thinking twice. We toss in our work shirts, our fancy sweaters, and that delicate silk we got for a special occasion. Then we wonder why everything looks worn out after just a few washes. The truth is, your washing machine is not your friend when it comes to certain fabrics. It's actually one of the biggest culprits in destroying clothes that could have lasted for years. Here's the thing about machine washing. All that spinning, the heat, and the constant agitation is designed to get work clothes clean. It's perfect for towels and everyday items, but when you're dealing with delicate materials, you're basically putting your favorite pieces through a beating they were never meant to experience. That's why hand washing is not just an old-fashioned idea, it's actually a smart investment in keeping your clothes looking fresh and new. 6 types of clothing that need your gentle touch. 6 types of clothing that need your gentle touch. 1. Your best sweaters, especially natural ones. Let's start with sweaters, because this is where most people go wrong. According to textiles expert Rachel Mitchell, who works with premium fabric care companies, sweaters are one of the biggest victims of machine washing mistakes. When you throw a wool sweater into your washer, even on a gentle cycle, something bad happens. The fibers expand when they get wet, and the agitation causes them to shrink or stretch in ways they shouldn't. Natural fibers like wool, cashmere, and angora are especially sensitive. These materials are basically tiny little strands that hook together to create the fabric. When your machine washes them, those strands get tangled up or they separate from each other. What you end up with is pilling, those little fuzzy balls that form on the surface. But that's not even the worst part. You could end up with a sweater that's completely misshapen and unwearable. The sleeves might be too long, or the whole thing could have shrunk so much that it fits your pet instead of you. A cashmere sweater that costs hundreds of dollars can be ruined in one wash if you're not careful. 2. Anything with beautiful lace details. Lace is gorgeous. There's something about the delicate pattern and the way it moves that makes any clothing item feel special. But that beauty is also its weakness. Lace is extremely fragile compared to regular fabric. When lace gets caught in the spinning action of a machine washer, it can tear, get snagged on other items, or stretch out of shape completely. Think about your lace-trimmed bras, your underwear with lace edges, or any blouses that have lace inserts. These pieces are often expensive, and they can last for years if you treat them right. The problem is that one cycle in a regular machine washer can put permanent damage on them. The threads that make up the lace pattern can snag on zippers or buttons from other clothes. What started as beautiful, delicate lace turns into torn fabric with loose threads. Once that happens, you can't really fix it. That's why these items absolutely need the gentle treatment of hand washing. 3. Pieces with pleats and structured details. Some clothes have special construction that you need to protect. When you have items with pleats, ruffles, padded sections, or structured shapes, the machine can completely destroy all that careful construction work. According to fabric care expert Rachel Mitchell, these pieces lose their defined shape when they go through machine washing. Think about a beautiful pleated skirt. Those pleats are created by carefully folding and pressing the fabric. When that skirt goes through a machine washer, all that agitation flattens out those pleats. What you end up with is a skirt that looks shapeless and unstructured. The same thing happens with ruffles. A blouse with ruffled details can come out of the machine looking totally flat and lifeless. If you have a quilted jacket or a dress with padding in the bodice, the machine will flatten that padding and change the entire look and fit of the piece. These structured details are part of what makes the garment special. When you hand wash, you can preserve that structure and keep the piece looking exactly how it was meant to look. 4. Silk. Everything you want to keep looking expensive. Silk is one of those fabrics that feels amazing and looks absolutely gorgeous. Silk blouses, silk scarves, silk sheets. When you invest in silk pieces, you're investing in quality. But silk is also one of the most delicate fabrics you can own.
The fibers are extremely fine, and they can easily snag or break if they're not handled with care. Machine washing is basically a guaranteed way to damage silk. The water temperature, the agitation, and the constant movement can all cause problems. The fibers can snag on each other or on other fabrics in the wash. What you end up with are little rough spots on the fabric that catch light in an ugly way. Beyond that, the colors in silk items can fade much faster when you use a machine. Silk dyes are often delicate, and they can run or bleed if the water's too hot or if there's too much agitation. When you hand wash silk, you have complete control over the temperature, the gentleness of the process, and how you handle the fabric. You can make sure your silk pieces stay looking new and vibrant for years to come. That luxurious silk blouse that you bought as a special treat to yourself? Hand washing is how you make sure it lasts. 5. Rayon and viscose fabrics. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. Rayon and viscose are made from wood pulp. Yes, wood pulp. These fabrics are created by taking cellulose from wood and turning it into fiber. This manufacturing process creates fabrics that feel smooth and look beautiful, but they have a major weakness. According to fabric specialist Rachel Mitchell, these fibers absorb water easily and lose their structure when they get wet. When you put rayon or viscose in the machine wash, the fibers absorb water and become weak. The constant agitation and the weight of the water breaks down the fabric. What you end up with is fabric that's thinner, weaker, and possibly shrunken. The garment might fit differently, or it might have weak spots where the fabric is actually damaged. The dryer makes it worse because heat causes these fabrics to shrink even more. A rayon dress that fit perfectly before washing might be completely unwearable after a single machine wash cycle. These fabrics need special care, and hand washing is the best way to protect them. When you hand wash rayon or viscose, you control the water temperature, the length of time the fabric sits in water, and how much agitation it receives. You're protecting your investment and making sure these beautiful fabrics stay strong and look good. 6. Garments with beads, sequins, and embroidery. Some of the most beautiful and special pieces you own probably have embellishments. Maybe you have a blouse with delicate embroidery, a dress covered in sequins, a jacket with beads, or a top with crystal details. These pieces often take a lot of work to create, and they can be quite expensive. Unfortunately, they're also incredibly easy to damage in a machine washer. Here's what happens when you put an embellished garment in the machine. The agitation causes the embellishments to rub against other fabrics in the wash. Hard elements like crystals and sequins can actually scratch and damage the other clothes. Meanwhile, the embellishments themselves can get damaged. Many beads and sequins are attached with delicate stitching that can loosen when the fabric is being tossed around in the machine. Some designs use special adhesives to attach the embellishments, and those adhesives can weaken when they get wet or are exposed to heat. What you end up with are embellishments that have fallen off, threads that are loose, or worse, completely bare spots where your beautiful details used to be. Once those beads or sequins fall off, it's very difficult to replace them in a way that looks professional. That gorgeous special occasion dress can be permanently damaged. Hand washing allows you to keep all those beautiful details safe and secure where they belong.
Hand washing your clothes doesn't have to be a chore. It's actually one of the simplest and most rewarding ways to care for your favorite pieces. Once you understand why certain fabrics need special attention, doing it right becomes second nature. The key is all in the details. Start with the right water temperature. Cold or lukewarm is best for delicate fabrics like silk, wool, or lace, since hot water can cause shrinking, fading, or warping. One of the biggest perks of hand washing is control. You decide the temperature, not the machine. Next, always choose a mild detergent designed specifically for delicate fabrics. Harsh, heavy-duty detergents meant for everyday clothes can damage fine fibers or cause colors to bleed. A small amount of gentle detergent goes a long way. Too much will only leave residue that dulls the fabric and irritates your skin. When it's time to wash, forget the old-fashioned image of scrubbing and wringing. Modern hand washing is all about soaking. Fill a sink or basin with cool or lukewarm water, Add a little detergent and let your garment soak for several minutes while the soap loosens dirt naturally. For heavier soil, let it sit up to half an hour, occasionally swirling the fabric gently in the water. No scrubbing, twisting, or pulling required. Once you're done soaking, rinse thoroughly in cool water until no soap bubbles remain. Any leftover detergent can stiffen the fabric, make it uncomfortable to wear, and even fade its color over time. Take your time rinsing. It's worth it. When it comes to drying, skip the hanger. Hanging delicate fabrics can stretch or distort their shape, especially knits and silks. Instead, lay them flat on a clean towel, reshape gently, and let them air dry naturally. It may take up a bit more space, but it keeps your garments in their perfect shape. Now, here's what happens when you skip all that and toss your delicates into the washing machine. They can shrink unevenly, lose shape, fade in color, or end up with broken fibers and loose seams. Natural fabrics like wool and silk are especially sensitive to agitation and heat, leading to irreversible damage. Even embellishments like beads, lace trims, or embroidery can detach or unravel completely. Once that happens, your only option is costly repairs or saying goodbye to your favorite piece. Hand washing, on the other hand, protects your investment and preserves the beauty, texture, and color of your clothing for years. It only takes a few extra minutes, but can add years to your wardrobe. Think of it as a small ritual, a quiet, mindful moment to appreciate your clothes and the craftsmanship behind them. And when you hand wash, you're not just cleaning fabric, you're extending the life of something you love. So don't let your favorite pieces get ruined by the spin cycle. Start hand washing your delicate items today. Share these tips with friends and family who might be unknowingly damaging their clothes. And if you found this helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Seniors Cleaning Hacks for more simple, practical ways to care for your clothes, home, and everything you love. Taking care of what you own isn't just smart, it's self-care.